Well, good morning. It is April 22nd at 8:55 a.m. It's 54 degrees on a Wednesday morning. On my way to work, actually on my way to breakfast, and then on my way to work. A little time out for myself in the morning. So the reason for this is typical of video diary entries that I do and have done for quite a few years, and most of the time they're talking about the progress of my inventions, my dreams, my progress. And I'm driving, by the way, so I do the look back. But this time's a little bit different, and I'm creating this video for the people that I care about, so that I don't have to repeat this to every single one. But I don't want it to be any less intentional, and I don't care about any one of you any less. So I have been, not formally, but at least visually, by an ear, nose, and throat doctor diagnosed with cancer. This happened yesterday. I've had a lump in my throat back in here. It's actually on the inside by the base of the tongue. Yeah, I'm touching it right there. It's about the size of a pea, maybe a little bigger. And I noticed it about 3 weeks ago. And I don't know how long it's been there. It doesn't have any pain associated with it. And at the same time, I noticed an enlarged lymph node right here. So this is a little fuller in here than the other side. And I can definitely tell. So I made an appointment to have it looked at, and yesterday was that appointment, and he, after looking at it, feels very strongly that what he's looking at is cancer, and that he's been doing this for, he's 60 years old, he's been doing this all his life, he's an expert in his field, I researched him thoroughly, and that's his initial reaction. And he arranged a biopsy that's going to happen tomorrow. They're going to take a piece out of it tomorrow, send it in and see what it is. And, just a little backstory. I had a tooth in that very same area, a molar, wisdom tooth, that had a root canal a number of years ago. And the tooth had dried out and cracked all the way around both sides under the gum line. And I knew it was cracked, and, it'd been that way for probably a year and a half. And I didn't, other than the inconvenience of, being a little bit more delicate with it, didn't worry about it. But I went to the dentist one time when I was getting some unrelated work done. I got a nice cap put on a former gray area tooth. While I was getting that done, they cleaned all my teeth and they went around everything, and they diagnosed every tooth individually. And they said that particular one they called a leaker. And a leaker means that there's a little bit of an infection in there, and it's enough that a regular pus or infection material come out of the tooth and leaks into your mouth, and you swallow it and you don't think anything of it. You don't even know what's happening. But that was the first time a dentist, somebody looked at it closely enough and said, that's what's going on there. Now, as soon as I realized that, I decided I needed to get it removed. That tooth needs to come out of there. I can't have something like that going on. It'll erode my jaw, whatever the hell it'll do. So I made the appointment. I got the tooth removed about 2 weeks ago. Under anesthesia, knocked out completely everything. And I had the dentist at that time, totally different dentist, specializing in oral surgery. I had him, I said, I got this bump back there, and it was told to me that maybe my dentist could take a look at it and see what they think, since you're in everybody's mouth all the time. So he looked at it, he felt the lymph node, and he said, in a very kind, fatherly way, even though he was younger than me, he says, you need to see an ENT, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and have that looked at. And so I made that appointment right away, got in, and the guy's his last name is Harris. I can't remember his first name. Out of Mount Vernon. Very high reviews, long time at it, right age bracket. He's about 60. I was looking for the right age, the right experience. I wanted somebody who had a leaning towards oncology, which is a cancer, the study of cancer, I suppose. And so I checked all those boxes, found this guy. He was kind of surprised because usually doctors get referred to by other doctors when such thing, let me refer you to, and they write it on a piece of paper. And this was done strictly via AI and Google searches. And that's, I guess, the new way anyway. So he was very straightforward, but very kind as well, very empathetic as well. Just really the right delivery that you'd want when you hear somebody tell you that for the first time. You always wonder what's it like to hear that somebody tell you you have cancer for the first time. And even though it hasn't been confirmed, all indicators, all the research that I've done, given the fact that it's not responsive to antibiotics, and of course the inspection by the ENT, there doesn't really seem to be much doubt here. He believes that the lymph node actually has some cancer in it, and that's why it's responding the way that it is, which all my life I've heard, if cancer gets into the lymphatic system, you're toast. It just spreads throughout the body. So I don't like to hear that it's in the frickin' lymph node, but we'll just have to see how this plays out. Once the biopsy comes back, they're going to make their he already mentioned the word radiation and chemotherapy. I'll be looking hard at my options, and even though there's a lot of naysayers out there when it comes to alternative drugs, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I just had it a minute ago. It's the one that is a dewormer for horses and a variety of other things, ivermectin or something like that. I'll be researching that, and ultimately I want to make the most informed, educated decision I can with respect to treatment, and it will have nothing to do with politics one way or the other. If I decide that's chemo radiation, and so be it. And some of it's going to depend on the kind of cancer it is. Some of it's more responsive than others. Ivermectin, that's it. And I got a neighbor right next door to me who is certain his cancer was eradicated through the intake of ivermectin. So, and there's a lot of that out there. So that's not lost on me, but I'm not going to be stupid about it, and I'm not going to go just one way or just another way. I'm going to research it, and ultimately I'm the one who's got to make the decision. It's my life that depends on it. And hopefully in the end it'll just go away. We'll beat it, and I'll have another couple decades ahead of me. And if not, well, that's life. And either way, I love you all. Thanks for watching. Very early in the game. Don't know anything else. I'll send out an occasional video like this because I can cover a lot more people. And please don't everybody call me and make me go over these same types of things over and over again. Just know that I care about you, or you wouldn't be looking at this video, and I'll create some kind of a group to give updates periodically. Love you all. Bye-bye. Off to Mary Ann's.